Welcome, welcome, Bleep Bloop Bloom here with another crash course tutorial. This one, and not being a frickin' noob. Alright, I mean, we're all noobs. We're all noobs at some point. I was a noob 2-3 years ago. I remember restarting the game like at least 6 times before I finished it, and the game was a lot easier back then. So we're all noobs. We're all noobs at some point, but yeah, my point here, my goal here, is to help you get over the hump on some like really basic stuff that I think are definitely noob traps that are just going to help you get your game going a little bit faster, save you some time, save you a few hours maybe early on, trying to get things, trying to help you get a little bit more efficiency right off the bat, right? So let's get right into it. Noob trap number 1 is building platforms too early. And on that same kind of note, not appreciating the importance of early boost. So what do I mean by this? Well, this is boost. This is getting stuff into low Earth orbit from Earth. We got water. We got volatiles. We got base metals. We got nobles. We got fissils. And you're like, wait, what do you mean we got those? We got 0 of those, Bleep. What are you talking about? Well, we got those on Earth. Okay, these are quote space resources. I'm using scare quotes right now. You can't see me, but you can just imagine that. These are space resources because they're much more efficiently used and applied when we are making them in space from space mines. But very early on, we don't got that luxury, right? We are, for our very first mine, which is going to go on Luna, almost always it's going to be on Luna, we are going to have to boost these resources, which are very plentiful on Earth. We are going to be boosting them into orbit, and that's going to cost a little bit of money, especially for fissils. If you're boosting fissils, that obviously those things that cost money. But the main cost that we worry about is this boost being able to have the infrastructure to get that stuff into space. All right, and here's the thing. So let's go to Luna. Let's go scroll out. Scroll out to Luna here. So we haven't probed it yet. But when we do, this is how we're going to start. We're going to get a mine going on the moon, and that's going to help us plant mines on Mars, which is currently being probed. And then we're just going to spread out over the entire solar system. But initially, we have to boost to Luna to start this process. And eventually we'll probably have to boost some, maybe a mine to Mars for resources that we can't get from the Luna, but that's the topic of another crash course. So here's the key number here. After you research a certain basic tech, interplanetary chemical rockets, I think, it's going to cost you 45 boost to start a mine on Luna. Okay, to actually do the initial site, I think, is 6 boost. We've already probed Mars. The right way to go is to probe Mars before you probe the moon and settle on the moon, so that you can get the moon going, and then after the Mars probe will come in February, and then you can just start settling on Mars. So this costs like 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 boost just to send the probe to Mars. Okay, so you got 6 to 9, something like that for Mars. You got 45 for that Luna mine. You actually have to plant on the moon. It's 55, 60, I would say, something like that boost that you need to do all this stuff. Well, that's important, right? It's important for you to know that you've got to generate this boost, because you don't start with any boost at the beginning of the game. I'm making 9.9 a month. A lot of that is from taking over the US, definitely the best place to get boost early on. And I've got some orgs. I'll talk about that in a second. I've got some orgs that are giving me boost too. But here's the thing. What if, as soon as you start generating boost, you'll get a little pop-up. You'll get a little reminder sort of thing, be like, hey, we can make a platform around Earth with this boost that you're generating. And you might think that's a good idea. It's almost definitely not. Because to plant a platform costs 1.5 boost. Okay? Now let's actually put science modules on it. It's kind of worthless without science modules. If I want to do 3 space science modules, and I probably would, that costs 2 boost. That costs 2 boost. That costs 2 boost. That costs 1.5 boost. And notice up here, each one of these modules has monthly cruise support. Water, in this case, water and volatiles. If you aren't making that in space, if you make that in space, it'll just teleport to the station. Could be it's from the Kuiper Belt. Could be you've got a mine on Pluto. Doesn't matter. It will instantaneously appear and support this space science lab in low Earth orbit. But if you've got no space mines, you're boosting it from Earth. We are boosting that much H2O, that many volatiles from Earth to this station, which is why our monthly income just dropped from 9.9 to 9.2, because these add up to 0.74. Okay? So you can see how if you aren't appreciating the importance of boost early on, and you're not saving up for that 55 to 60, you might plant some platforms. Hey, you know, bonuses to mission control, those are good. Bonuses to space science, those are good. I would love to have a ton of these in orbit. Problem is, it's going to cost me like 9 to put them into orbit, then it's going to drain my income 1 a month, well, 0.7 a month to have it up there. And this may mean I can't plant on the moon as soon as possible, and that's the name of the game. You do not want to put platforms up if it turns out that this is going to delay you settling on the moon. Now, in this particular game, I have enough boost. I've already probed Mars. This might be the exact time where I might put up one platform. Maybe not. I highly recommend, if you are a noob, a really good rule is don't plant any platforms until your first moon mine is online. You might only have one. One is fine. But until that's online, don't plant any platforms. If you know what you're doing, yeah, you don't have to listen to that rule. But you're probably watching this because you're a noob, in which case, that's just a really good rule. You want to generate a lot of boost, and you want to get to that 55, 60 mark, and yeah, I would avoid no platforms until your first moon mine is online. All right, noob trap number 1, not appreciating boost, building platforms early. Noob trap number 2, beautifully interacts with noob trap number 1, because noob trap number 2 is underestimating the importance of orgs and not knowing how to unlock them. All right, orgs are, you need to know how to unlock orgs, especially boost orgs, get more orgs in your market, and steal orgs later on. So let's talk about those things. So if we go to the archives here, we can see advanced chemical rocketry was the very first global tech picked after the starter 3. Now, I think this was lucky on my part. I don't think I picked this. I think one of the enemy factions picked this, but I was very happy to see it, because this is a really important tech. This is always either this or domestic politics are the first global techs that I pick, and we'll tell you why right now. Advanced chemical rocketry, you look at the fine print, this tech unlocks new orgs to become available on the market. You know what orgs these are? These are boost orgs with a little hint of mission control. And sometimes they give you bonuses to boost, bonuses to mission control, but usually they're giving you raw, tasty boost, and these are incredibly important, especially if you are not taking over the US at the beginning and you've got to figure out where to get your boost from. Orgs are going to be the name of the game in that instance, and so you want to finish advanced chemical rocketry as soon as possible. It's also important to win this because of high thrust probes. You really want high thrust probes. So 2 reasons. You don't need these probes immediately. You're going to want them when you probe Mars, but really early on, you're going to want boost orgs available, and there's also some techs here that actually improve your boost generation overall, the investment points that you put in them, so those are cool too. So, really important tech. Another really important tech, these 2. Arrival economics, slightly pricier than arrival domestic politics. Both of these orgs, though, they have something in common. Not only do they unlock new orgs, but they generate a faction project. And when a faction studies that faction project, it costs 1,000 each. This one, institutional outreach. This one, arrival markets. These are incredibly important techs, because they will, each of them, allow 5 more orgs to pop up in your market every month. And that's incredibly important because orgs allow you, science bonuses, mission control bonuses, boost bonuses, persuasion bonuses, investigation bonuses, and admin bonuses, which are incredibly important. You may know this, you may not. You may not know this. You're a noob. It's fine. But this CP cap here is really important to drive this number up as high as possible because this allows you to take more nations. And this goes up. This is partially a function. There's like a certain base number you start with. You can increase this from techs. But one really important way to increase this is to have a high admin, command, and persuasion on your counselors. Admin plus command plus persuasion for each counselor adds up to increase this number. And so you want high admin. You want to get to 25 admin on all your counselors as soon as you can. Not necessarily with XP, because there's so many orgs that give admin. So generally you don't add admin to your counselors with XP. I mean, you might if they start super low. Generally though, you wait for orgs and put them on, like this one right here, right? This is a beautiful org that I'm sure I purchased. +5 admin, plus some bonuses to econ and spoils. It was very pricey. I probably ran a lot of spoils so I could buy this. This gives me +5 admin. This allows me to carry more orgs so that I can, look at all these admin orgs right here that give me persuasion and let me carry more persuasion orgs. This is allowing me to get a persuasion of 23. That's increasing my CP cap. That's allowing me to turn counselors. That's allowing me to run really easy public campaigns. Right? All these are really good things to have. And so admin on my old tech mogul here, 24. Hostile takeovers, what you use to steal orgs, is based on admin. And so I got a tech mogul with hostile takeover. I can steal from folks. So let's go to Abdul here. Hostile takeover. Look at all the stuff I can steal here. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Do I want science orgs? Do I want to try to steal an admin org? I probably do. I would really love to steal this. I'd imprison this person to make it easier to steal from them, and they just yoink it. Mining orgs, mission control orgs, and so on. So that's why these are so important. This arrival economics, arrival domestic politics, they are going to allow you to buy more orgs, and when the other factions study them, it will allow them to buy more orgs, which you will then trade for or steal. I'm a big stealer. I mean, I'll trade for them if I can, but I might trade with them just to see what they've got and then steal. And a really important, not necessarily a noob thing, but something that you do want to learn eventually, is the cycle of investigating. Let's see here. Who do we got? Yeah. Good old Izzy. Investigating a counselor. Figuring out what their full loyalty is, turning them with your high persuasion person, imprisoning them with your investigator so they don't get the benefit of their admin orgs, so they're easier to steal from, and then stealing from them with your high admin tech mogul. Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. I am guessing that at least a third of the orgs that you see on my folks were stolen at this point from the other factions, and that's just a process that's going to continue. Okay, so noob trap number 2, not understanding the importance of orgs and what you can do very early on in the game to get access to boost orgs and access to just more orgs in your market, and noob trap to some degree, not understanding that you can steal orgs from other folks and how cool that is to do. Okay. All right, noob trap number 3 has to do, actually 3 and 4 are kind of related. Noob trap number 3 is investing in too many techs, studying too many techs at once. All right, so here's the thing. You're going to learn pretty early on that the more techs you study, the bigger your science bonus. So here it's 2 techs. Daily, our research bonus is 4.3. If it was 1, it would be 2.2. Again, it's about 40 a month is what we're getting. 2.2. If it was 3, it's what, 6.6, 6.5. Yeah. And 4, it's 8.6. It's 5% per. You get an extra 5% of science, 5% research per extra tech that you study. Now, if they overlap like they do here, 30. Notice this is 36%. Boop. Now it's 40%. If we looked at 3 space science at once, it's only 32%. So you might be like, well, you know what? Bleep, I want to get as much science as possible. So I'm going to look at my climate lab over here, and I'll look at the rockets over here, and photonic computing over here, and space mining over here. And yeah, now I'm going to get all the sciences. It's great. Bad idea. You do not need a climate lab right now. You will need boost eventually. Right now, you got plenty of boost. You don't need boost. In fact, I want to get to the moon as fast as possible. I don't want to lose this. I want to win the tech race here. But I'm already, I might keep this in here just so I can pass by the academy. But if I don't care about winning this, I just want to get to the moon, I'm just going to put everything in space mining. 1 marshmallow now is the name of the game, not 1.2 marshmallows later. There are so many times that you need to put 100% or at least 75% into a tech. You don't want the other faction to take it. You want nuclear freighters right now because you want to start probing and settling on Mars for cheaper. You want to rush space mining so you can get to the moon and get that moon mine going on as soon as possible because it'll help you settle Mars earlier. You want arrival domestic policies right now so that you can rush buying more orgs, all right? If you're not in a super rush for something, that will occasionally happen, sure, spread things out. Get a little bonus, not a problem. I would say, though, that over half the time, you're going to be just putting maybe researching 2 techs or 1 tech. Spreading out a little bit here and there is fine. It does give you more science, but there's just so many times during the game, especially early on, where you just want to do the thing. And do you want to, this is going to allow me to maybe get a moon mine going because I have to breeze through this. That's takes me to October. Then I got to probe the moon, settle. This might mean that I've got a moon mine going in January. If I do this, I've just added almost a month to this, okay? Now I've got my mine going in February, but yay, I can make climate labs, something I'm not going to build probably until the end of the game, okay? Oh boy, I can have reusable rockets now, even though I'm not going to be investing in boost for another year and a half, all right? So that's noob trap number 3. Noob trap number 3, diversifying your tech research even when you need something right now, okay? And on a similar note, noob trap number 4, diversifying too much in your country and your nation priorities. So you can see what I've got going on right now. Clearly there was something I wanted to buy because I'm just running spoils like a crazy person. Little unity because my public opinion's dropping, little welfare to just make sure that inequality doesn't go completely through the roof. But I'm like, I need money right now. I'm doing spoils. But I can't tell you how many times I've been on the Discord and I see people asking for advice about what they should invest, and then they kind of post an example, and it's like, well, this is what they're like. They're like, well, I want to increase the economy because I don't want that going down, but I need to control inequality, and I don't like global warming because it has long-term bad impact, but I want to be smarter, and democracy higher is good, and I want some long-term money, but also I need some money right now. But I know boost is important because Bleep told me, but I also want to put stuff into space. But also if the aliens invade, I want to have my army tougher. And they do this. And it's just, my head just explodes. Like, oh my God. Just, you're what? You're putting, 3 investment points towards this a frickin' month. Like, this is not going to have, like, no impact at all. Or they might be like, oh, but I really care about global warming. And so, they'll, instead of this, they'll do this. And it's just like, oh, Lord, please. No, don't do, if you want to have fun, if you think that this is like thematic or you're doing a role-playing run, I ain't going to step on your toes. Go for it. Knock yourself out. If you want an efficient run, and you want to do what I do, which is like have your fun at the end of the game after you've curb stomped the aliens, you want to drive environment to 10 and so on and so forth, You'll be able to do that. You'll be able to do it faster because you were more efficient early on in the game. And efficient in the early game means focus. It means 50% of your points usually going towards one thing, and then maybe 1, 2, 3, a couple points in unity to keep public opinion up, maybe a little welfare so your inequality doesn't go above 5 or maybe above 4. But like in a country this you don't, unrest is 0, our GDP/PC is high, you don't need econ. I don't put stuff into knowledge unless I have a very specific plan. I don't need to increase government right now. Lord knows I got 6 frickin' awesome armies. I don't need to invest in military. Name of the game early on and middle of the game and a lot of the end of the game is mission control and boost. You want to have enough boost because there's cool things you can do with boost. Obviously you need boost early on. You also need it later on. The devs have made sure of that. Boost and mission control. A lot of the key strategies are about using the Earth basically as a boost and mission control farm. And so I'm running heavy spoils right now, but after I got the money I need, I'll tell you what I did in this game. Just maxed mission control. 75% mission control, and then a little welfare, a little unity so things didn't get crazy. All right? That is what I recommend for almost any, and maybe it's not that. If I'm doing Gigascience China, then I'm doing, oh Lord, geez, no, just don't do this. If I'm doing Gigascience China, I'm doing half economy, half knowledge, a tiny bit of welfare maybe, a tiny bit of unity. Again, 4 things max. If I have big unrest problems, if I'm doing an Africa run and I'm like, oh my Lord, I got unrest through the roof here, I'm going 100% depression. Because unrest above 2 eats up your investment points. I need investment points. These things that, this is 8.3. This could be 12 if my unrest was 2 or less. I'm going 100% oppression until I get those investment points back. Then I'll run 25% oppression, 50% econ to get this up, maybe 25% welfare. I'm investing in 3 things. Oh, maybe a tiny bit of unity, right? A couple of points there. I'm investing in 3 or 4 things. Focus. And remember, name of the game long term, there's a space game. You're trying to get into space. You want lots of mission control. You want to make sure you got enough boost. All right. I have gone over my 20-minute mark for these crash course tutorials, which means apparently I'm going to have to give your money back according to the guideline that I have in the playlist. I'll have to edit that. I hope that this has been helpful and helpful so that you can have a more efficient game, not fall into early noob traps. I'll do some more of these for some more, maybe some advanced playthroughs, some more advanced strategies. But these are, I think, are really core things that if you're just starting out in the game, so easy to kind of put into your brain and make it so that you're more successful, especially in the early game. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.